to smoke a purse so sweet with Hot Thoughts TV.
Y'all know what the fuck we doing, man. It's Hot Thoughts TV. Niggas hot in the bitch, man.
I'm smoking a purse so sweet with Hot Thoughts TV.
So Locovision, how exactly did y'all, come in contact with each other?
Me and Locovision linked up off of Kev Mac and through a mutual friend. So initially it was through the mutual friend that I got on Kev Mac's show, and then from there with Loco. And then we talked, and then we linked when he made a channel. And then we just went from there. Because he was like, my boy, you from Fort Worth, woo woo. So he was looking for the history, just the Texas history of, the gang channels, of all the stuff that went on in different cities in Texas. So the homeboy was trying to link him with me to tell the history of Fort Worth and different individuals that he knew from prison or whatever, and get us as a collective to tell that story, get some dudes from Dallas, tell the story, Houston, et cetera, right? So that's how we pretty much linked up. And we've been rolling out ever since. We dynamic duo, man. We gonna click on a nigga ass, you know what I'm saying? Don't get the fucking around, we gonna click on you. You know what I'm saying? Go jug you for one of us. I'm telling you, team up gang with food. Dudley boys off the table, you know what I'm saying? Take your ass off the table, nigga, keep playing. But yeah, that's pretty much how we linked up. So yeah, that's how that go.
So this kind of left field question, but California, they legalized weed a few years back. Texas, we still have not. Why do you feel like that is, and do you feel like it's coming?
I really can't speak on it because I don't smoke. I could if I wanted to, but man, my career on that. So I don't want to mess up my career. I don't want to mess up my livelihood. So drugs, I've never been a big partaker of drugs anyway. Never. I don't really drink like that. Not before that. I did all my crimes sober. I gotta be sober to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what I'm doing. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna say this for everybody that's an entrepreneur. If you don't have a felony, I feel like, man, if you do really trying to put their resources together and do something, we all need to come together and get us a dispensary. We need to get a dispensary. Somebody need to get their grow license. We need to put money together to buy land. We need to start coming up with our own financial situations and pull that shit together, man, because that's really what I see when they do legalize it. That's why the people had them smoke shops, them CB, because they already set up. So when they get legalized, they can jump right into play and they can be able to eat, because that's why they popping up in certain spots. So we need to try to capitalize off of that and put it together, man. But I think at the end of the day, for us being black, men and women, we need to stop the transgressions of really blaming each other for our shortcomings. We need to stop blaming, this person did me like this. You're only in control of you. I don't control Pico's feelings. Pico controls his feelings. He controls his thoughts. So there's nothing I can do to change any of that unless you want to change it. You allow what I did to change that.
Yeah.
So what does that tell me about Pico? What does it tell me about Man Pumpkin? That, man, you not who you say you are. You're not disciplined enough with yourself. So if we can stop and figure out that and start tapping in with each other that way and build some resources, I think that's the market that we really all need to come into. Fuck the rap shit, fuck the YouTube, fuck, you know what I'm saying? That's the cornerstone right there, because that shit is unlimited. We all know this with being black. The drug game is super successful. Now it's legal. Let me get in. You know what I'm saying? Let me in. Let me in the game, coach.
So you feel like being black, that we conditioned, whether it's businesses or just, average day-to-day people, that we conditioned growing up, like, oh, don't fuck with them niggas, don't fuck with that nigga, or don't, for instance, I feel like, and I saw this, I want to say, in a Sean Cotton Say Cheese interview. He said that black people, we might be more apt to go into a white business and feel more comfortable spending money there than we would. And that's not all black people, but for the most part, they feel more comfortable putting their money here than here. Reason why we don't have many black jewelers, black, etc. The list goes on. What's your thought on that?
Okay, so I'm going to go deep, and I'm going to go back. So we wasn't taught, we weren't conditioned to that. That was the situation that we was in when we had to survive. One thing about us is people, we're resourceful. We'll make something out of nothing. we'll survive a situation that most people won't even want to fuck with. You know, so adversity is not really nothing to us. It's just another situation or circumstances that we have to, you know what I'm saying, partake in until we get to the other side of something that we feel that may be sustaining us for the moment or maybe for the long haul. So with that being said, we're going back and I'm going to go like this. In slavery times, they always take it back to slavery times, but it ain't slavery. It's not slavery times. Where do you think we learn most of this shit from? They say we just started civilization and then we started enslaving one another. We selling each other off to different tribes, different things in different countries and all of this. So once we rendered ourselves vulnerable to the other people that came on, which is not a different race, is we're all human, so we all the same. So when we allow this group of people to come in and conquer us with violence and atrocities instead of counteracting that the same way, we're already humble. We're already, you know what I'm saying, forgiving people. We always the turn-the-cheek people. Yeah. That being violent is really not our nature. We're only violent when we gotta protect ourselves. That was the natural. That's just the natural order of it all, really. So now they're empowered and we're not. So now what are we picking up? We're picking up their weight. We're picking up what they're projecting. So now what do we see them doing? They do that shit. They just don't broadcast it. We just want to broadcast it to each other. And they say, the white people don't do that. I grew up, I went to an all-white school. They do that. They do that to each other. They cheat on each other. They whoop their wives. They do drugs. They do undercover DL shit. They scandalous. They do, I mean, every culture is like this. So where did we get it from? If we invented it, why we can't fix it?